Well, hello and good evening, everyone. I am Aisha Mishra, your host of the evening, and I warmly welcome you all to yet again and another webinar hosted by Education Nest. Before we move ahead, I would like to ask you all, have you ever used ChatGPT to deliver a professional email to your bosses, your team leaders, or to design any templates for your Instagram caption profiles? Well, we all have. And to anyone who has not used any AI till now, the Education Nest is inviting you all in a treat today because the topic of the today's session is AI tools for everyday work. As AI continues to reshape our work, we will be introducing with you practical tools of the session today. Before we move ahead, I would like to invite our expert. Our expert of the today's session is Mr. Chaitanya Gajula. Mr. Chaitanya, I would like to welcome you to this session.
Hi.
Okay, I will be giving you a brief intro about Mr. Chaitanya. Mr. Chet, Mr. Chaitanya is a trainer
Yes.
associated with us. He's associated with us and he has given 1,000 plus trainings. So, Mr. Chaitanya, I would like to welcome you again on this platform. And before we move
Thank you.
ahead, I would like to give I would like you to give the audience a little short, brief intro about
Uh, Hi. This is
your audible, sir. I guess there's a technical glitch. Uh, we will be right back with him. There's a technical glitch on his end. We are working on it. Bef- So if you have any questions till now on how AI tools perform or how there are different AI tools on different corporate worlds or how professional works on AI, you can drop them in the live chat and we will be answering them to you. And just give us 5 minutes before so that our team behind will check what the technical glitch is going on and our expert will be right back with you. So, Mr. Chaitanya, I would like you to give a brief intro about yourself and how you're associated with
Hi.
education is.
Hi. I'm a trainer and consultant with Education Nest. Come to experience 20 years. I take trainings on cloud, DevOps, and AI. So very much excited to take this session. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chaitanya, before we move ahead,
So you want to yes. So you want to
I
share the
would,
slide on screen and then talk about?
yes, sir. Before we move ahead, I would like you to give our audience about how we will be moving ahead or what will be few benefiting things that we will be learning today, like what the session will be all about.
Yes. So we'll first start understand about what is AI and machine learning. Later we'll talk about how does AI help in the workplace. For example, how do you can use AI for writing, how we can use AI for preparing documentation, as well as how we can use AI for smart scheduling. So this would be both a theory session as well as hands-on, in which we'll learn about tools like ChatGPT. We'll look into how you can use Jira and how we can use tools like Canva. Thank you. And I'll be sharing this screen and explain to all these things once I get in the hands-on. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I sincerely know and hope that your expertise will enrich our participants and our attendees ahead. So over to you now, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Aishi. So let me share screen.
Yeah, sure.
So is the screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Right. Yes, hello everyone. So welcome to the session on AI tools for everyday work. This is Chaitanya here. So what I'm going to talk about today. So first we'll learn about how you can use AI assistants for writing, planning, and content creation. We'll also look into how you can automate your routine task through different workflow tools. So example, we'll talk about how to use Jira. We'll look into how you can optimize schedule with using smart calendar applications like Calendly. We'll also look into how you can simplify your work to be done by using different AI-powered tools. And we'll end up by looking into collaboration tools, which are provided by technology. So first one is, what is AI? So as you see in this diagram, artificial intelligence is the latest technology which is being used in enterprises, wherein you can allow the machines to think about how it acts as a human. So humans would design, and it'll start thinking like how humans think. That is called as artificial intelligence. And this consists of different methods. So for example, under artificial intelligence, we have machine learning. So in this method, what we do is you given practice or the adapt the technology, wherein using the technology, it can start doing the things without any human intervention. And still further, we're talking about deep learning, which is still deeper analogy in which, if, for example, you ask some data, it gives the data very quickly. I'm talking like generative AI. So we're talking about how you can use AI, and AI, under AI, we are a subset of machine learning, and also deep learning, which is still a subset of machine learning. So all these three is being used in different tools, which is used for AI these days. So we're talking about AI being used to find intelligence, which is the car. And if you want to type something, for example, you want to get some data, you want to understand, you want to prepare a documentation. So you ask for documentation in ChatGPT, you get the documentation. And apart from this, we also use the traffic sensor and all the lots of use cases where AI is used across in these days. The first example where we're going to talk about is how AI is very much useful in writing, planning, and content creation. And for doing this, we have different types of assistant. So what are different types of assistants which are used in AI? The first type of assistant, which is also called a voice assistant or digital assistant, these are examples like tools like Alexa. So in this, for example, if you have Alexa, which is of Amazon product, if you talk something, it'll do the work without any human intervention. You also have Google Assistant, Siri, and these help you to integrate application services. Apart from this, let's consider that you want to prepare a documentation, or you want to prepare some notes. You might want to prepare a presentation or prepare some images. We have an AI writing assistants. Along with that, many enterprises use bots. So what are bots? The bots are like robots, which would act like a human, and you can ask questions. If you're logging on to any healthcare company website and you want to ask some information, you get an immediate bot, and it asks you questions about what help you require. You say what you want, and you can get the reports in a few minutes. And apart from this, we also have AI assistants, which enterprise, we're talking about Copilot, or using a custom base, using which you can get in the custom base which is required for organization. So these are the different types of AI assistant tools which is used in enterprises. And we'll see a few among this. So let me talk about different types of assistant being used in enterprises. The first one is writing assistant. So where do we use this? We use this for drafting, we use for editing, and summarizing the content what you ask for. And the examples of the tools of this, we're talking about ChatGPT, we're talking about using Grammarly and Quillbot. The next type of tool which talking about AI assistant, the planning assistant. This is normally used for scheduling, task management, and a goal tracking. Tools we're talking about is Notion AI, ClipUp, Trello, and plus AI. Apart from this, we also have tools which could be used for designing, like creative assistant. So we're talking about Canva, Lumens, and DALL-E. So example, I want to write a blog, I want to market my blog. So we have in tools like Jasper, Copy AI, Write Sonic. The last one is where we use it for chatbots and email replies. So this you have in generic like Intercom, AI, Zendesk, or you also have a cloud-based tools like chatbot, which is provided by a cloud like AI, AWS and Azure. So let's look into a few of this. The first one is we're going to talk about ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a product of OpenAI, which is Microsoft. And this has been the first tool we're talking about, which came in AI Assistant, which will help you to write in any data, whatever you want. You can generate the contents, or you want to generate any images, you want to generate presentation, you want to generate documentation. For all these things, we can use this. And you can go deeper and analyze your data. You can get a summary, lots of options we have in this. So let me show a small demo about how we can use ChatGPT. So let me access this. So I've logged into ChatGPT, and under ChatGPT, I have an option called Writing Assistant. I'm going to use this now. So click on in here, and it gives an example about how I can use ChatGPT, using which I can try to get in some blog writing, essay writing, and more. Let me ask a simple question in here. I say that, could you prepare 10 lines about how AI works? And it's going to give me a documentation about what is AI, and what are the features of AI, and how does it work. And you see that there are 10 lines. So in this now, if I again want to ask more, I can again ask more that, can you explain more about algorithms using AI? And now I get in the documentation about this. So if I'm writing a documentation or I'm preparing any presentation about AI, I can able to get all the information, and I can still go further and ask based on the audience. So let's consider that I'm preparing documentation for technical leaders. Now I can say that, summarize the above for technical leaders. And you get the documentation in the appropriate, which is for technical readers. And now I can go ahead and copy this, and I can have it in my presentation. So like this, we have different options in ChatGPT. Apart from this, you can also use ChatGPT for image generator, and other options. You can also customize ChatGPT for your enterprises. Yeah, this is one tool. Now the second tool, which you can use it for, same for writing assistant, we're going to talk about something called a Grammarly. Now Grammarly is a tool which you can use it for checking in your grammar. Could be your spellings. You want to get a more context specific to a scenario. You could customize all these things, and you get in a free edition as well as paid edition. So how does it work? You will first install Grammarly. So for installing Grammarly, either you can go to Store of Microsoft Store. You could search for Grammarly from here, and you can install this. This is how install, or you can also use a browser base, and you can add this to extension in your browser. And once you start using any, for example, if I open Chat PPT, and if I do any operations, it'll automatically give me options to do a spell check. So let me go some examples. Let me open this now. So if I do some mistake in here, it must prompt me for modifying, or it says that it's an error message here, then I can accordingly modify the error. So let me show you how I can use this for documentation. So let's consider I have a document. I want to upload it and see any errors in it or improvements in it. For document uploaded. So let's say that this is a document which I want to do for testing. This upload document which has a curriculum. And I get in all these options to modify this. So these are the options asking me what all options I need to use it. So this generic, so I say done. And these are the advice given in here, recommendations. And as per that, I can say accept all these and I can proceed. It also gives me documentation about how is my overall score of existing ones. Understand that, yes, this is fine right now, or I might want to improve on the same. So this is a simple free version. If I still want more features, which will give me a more grammar understanding and how I can change in the syntax and other things, I can go ahead and go for a paid option. Yeah. So this is how I can use Grammarly for a writing assistant for improving my language. So these are two we're talking about using of a writing assistant. The next one we're talking about, which is for automated routing tasks through using workflow tools. So in this, we're talking about example. Let's consider that you work for a DevOps team and you have created a ticket or an issue for any issue, any incidents happen. You might want to open it and then review it, acknowledge, and then close it. So these are some of the examples I'm talking about, where you can use the automating routing task with AI. The first use cases, data entry and pre-processing. Second, I can keep track of the task which is completed. And we can also use this for approval workflows. The last one we're talking about using powered chatbots, which can ask questions, and based on your specific question, it will understand which specific team it has to route your request to, and the appropriate agent would be given the request, and they come back and ask you questions or help you immediately. This is called as how we can use AI in routing task. So example in here in this diagram, you see Jira software. So what is Jira software? So Jira software is a software which is used by Agile and DevOps team, where they create issues for developers and other team members to work together, in which they're raising issues. They review their cases, what exactly they're doing. They can assign their specific work items to developers or to other teams, others who are working on in the team, and they can resolve it and they can change the status. Now, this becomes quite difficult if everything is done manually and you want this to happen automatically. This is where we can use Jira software for automatic workflow. Yeah, let me show a small example about where we can do this. And for doing this, we have to define some rules. I'll show a simple example about how we can do this. So let me access Jira. So I'm talking about this use case. So you're talking about how developers they create the issue. It'll be open. And then once they acknowledge, it will go to a start in progress. And once they are done, they do a resolve. And they would again review it and then have it closed. If required, they might have to open it, reopen it. So I want this task to be automated. And for doing this, we could use Jira. Let me log into Jira here. So log into Jira, and I have a project, and this is the workflow which I want. So what I can do in here is we can go ahead and define a rule in here. So I want to do in progress done, all these to get automated. For doing this, I define the rule in here. So go to add rule. And define when I want this flow to be automated to be closed, for example. So you have lots of options in here. So I can restrict based on the status of subtask, restrict to when a field is specific value, and these. So I'm going to use this option in which if any specific issue or a task is updated, what to be done, I want it to be automated. So I click on in here and click on select. Now I need to choose to what I need to move the status to once it is coming. So I'll say that status is still in progress and done. So I can again define all these options and say add. So once any specific work has been moved to in progress or these, it'll automatically move to a done. So I'm trying to automate this work. Small example about how you can do this. And for doing this, so once you're done, you can again say update and you can save this. So once the team start creating any workflow or issue, this would be automated. This is one example about how we can use in DevOps in Jira for workflows automation. Yeah. The next one is where the project managers or scrum masters or I'm talking about the highly qualified people working enterprise, they want to manage their calendars. And this becomes very difficult in case they're working on different project meetings, different work. They're not very sure about when to have which meeting. So you want to have a better method to automate the meetings and scheduling. This is where we can use smart calendar applications like Calendly. We also have Reclaim AI. We also have option which include integrates your Google Calendar. So this will help them to easily assign any meetings with them as with the team members, and this will not have any much of conflicts and improve productivity for enterprise users. So talking about tools like Reclaim AI, which is used for automatically scheduling tasks. We're talking about using Motion, Time Hero, Clockwise, Meets. All these are different tools using which you can create or schedule your calendars quite easily without much of hassle. So this looks something like this. So example, this is she has been registered and she is able to synchronize with the team members. So all the team members you can see it in here. She can easily schedule a meeting with all the team members quickly. So let me show you how I can use Reclaim AI. So this is your website. Let me talk about very brief about what Reclaim AI is. It's a website in which you can start focusing on the work. And these advantages, what managers or who are using these tool, more productive hours. This improves the productivity, optimize the meeting chaos. So these are advantages what anyone get in once they start using this tool. So how do you can integrate this tool? So you can integrate this tool with Google Calendar or with Slack, Jira Software, Asana, all these different tools using which you can integrate this tool with. Yeah. So now I'm going to show a small example about how we can use this. So let me log into the product. And let me play a small video on this. So registered for this, it's a free trial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a smart meeting in here. So considering that I'm a manager, I want to create a meeting with my team members. So I would go ahead and click on new smart meeting. I give a name. So I'll say weekly meeting. And I can define some colors based on the importance. Team meeting. Add description. Then I can define who needs to be part of this meeting in here. So I've added some members in here. So let's search for. I've also had one more idea of myself. Let me to see if I can add one more. I'm adding one more of myself just for the demo. Yeah. So it adds the calendar of both of them in here, and it gives the details about what is the availability of each of the user's calendar. Then I can define when you want to do this. I can do a weekly, every day, time of a week. So I'm talking about weekly meeting in here. I want to do once a week. So option in here, so I can choose a time, specific time in here. So it is Thursday right now. So I'm just trying to here the time. And this is the minimum time, maximum time, duration. And I can define the priority. And then I say save this. So once I save this, I also get a information or a note that you want to share this with other. Yes, I'll say send, and the user would get notification about the email. So this is a small example. Apart from this, in this tool, you can go on to the planner, and you can plan your activity in which you can include other team members. So you can say new task, say that you want to have some tasks to be worked together. You can define, and others could also be part of your planning. So this is a simple example about how you can use Reclaim AI for planning as well as for smart meetings. The last use case where we can use AI power tools is for data analysis. Now, in this, we have different tools. So we use it for, in this, data cleansing and processing happens. And if you have huge data, for example, and you want to analyze the data, you want to get some reports, we're talking about these are use cases. So we use ChatGPT for this. We can use Power BI Copilot. We can also use Tableau, Google Looker Studio, and the last one is Monkey. So these are different tools which use for data for AI for data analysis. Yeah. The last tool which you use talking about is AI-driven collaboration platform, in which you can collaborate with other team members. So you're talking about using Slack, we're talking about using Microsoft Office Teams, other AI, Monday.com, ClickUp, Notion AI, all these are different tools. So let me talk about a tool which is very much used for collaboration. So Monday.com is a tool in which you can prioritize your task and you can work with your team members for working on your projects. So let me show how does it work in here. I'm accessing the website. A small video about this, which is interesting. Let me play this video. Let me play this video.
Hey, it's Allison, and today I'll show you how to harness pre-built templates and custom automations to automate your work with Monday.com. Let's start with the basics. If you click Automate on any board, you will be taken to our Automation Center, a hub of pre-built automations and integrations. We're only going to focus on automations in this video, but be sure to check out our tutorial on integrations to get the full picture. There are two types of automations, custom and pre-built templates. With custom automations, you build out your own automation flow using three basic elements: your trigger, to kick off when the automation should run, a condition, to narrow down the scope of our trigger, and an action, to define the result of our automation. So now, when a date arrives, then Monday.com will automatically notify the team member assigned in the people column. Pretty simple, right? That quickly, we have successfully set up a simple automation that will run on our board anytime it is triggered. Since the beauty of using custom automations is that we don't need to stick with a simple trigger and a single action. Let's kick things up a notch. By adding a condition here, we have now defined that not only will the date need to come to pass, we also need the status column to have a specific label applied. This way, we aren't notifying teammates to start working on a task they've already completed. But wait, there's more. We can also define an additional action by clicking here. Now, once the team member is notified, our automation will also create an update on the item, letting everyone subscribed know that this task is not going to fall through the cracks. You can even add multiple conditions that result in several different actions, letting you accomplish almost anything your heart desires. If you love the idea of adding automations to your board, but aren't sure where to start, we've got your back. The Automation Center is home to many incredible templates dedicated to making all your automation dreams a reality. Let's take a look at a complicated automation you can only find as a template in the Automation Center. Whew, now this one is a doozy, but think of how amazing it would be to not have to manually make changes to multiple boards that track the same information every time there's an update. This pre-built template makes it simple. Just plug in the necessary info, hit play, and our powerful automation will do all the rest. If a change needs to be made to better support your board, here you will be able to view and edit all the automations created for the board, enable or disable them, or delete them entirely, should you need a clean slate. Now, the only thing left to figure out is what to do with all your free time. Click here to learn all the ways.
Here's a quick video about how you can use Monday.com for automation workflow. So let us do a small example in this. I'm going to log into my account. So I've logged into my account. And this is my workflow. Yeah. So what I've done is I've added project 1, project 2, project 3, and you can see the people who are working on it, the status. Yeah. So now if I want to create a new one in here, so I can again go back to workspaces. Boom. Then I want to create a new one. This is my workspace. I go in here. I click on the recent. Now you see here that all of them are able to see the information due date. I can go and modify those, and I can modify the status. Then if I want to filter the specific person, I can do some status and then I can move across. So it looks something like this. This is a small example about how we can use. How we get started. If you want to get started, first you have to create a new one. You say automate. Then you say create automation in here. It gives you options about what happens. So you can say it here that as soon as any status change to something, and do this. So I can say here when the status change of a column, I'm going to say that it is done. Then I'd say that notify, and I can say to whom is we need to be notified. So I can give in here, I can say, hey, notify Chaitanya. And once it's done, you can define which item, and then you can say done. And then you say create an automation. So this is myself, and then create automation here. A small example about how you can create automation. So now, apart from this, if you want to go ahead and duplicate these tasks, you can go and duplicate it. And once the history of it, you can anytime go ahead and say run the history of what exactly happened. So this is a small demo about how you can use Monday.com for work management. And anytime you can go and see all the information under my work. And you can have a summary about what all you have done recently. Yeah. So it's in very brief about how we can use Monday.com for collaboration. So So once enterprises start using this, so you can see here that there's a sales pipeline, and they're able to see which particular deal, who is the owner of it, what stage they are in, what is the priority, and how much of probability they are. It means that they're going to win the deal, and the deal value and the phone numbers. So once you start using this effectively with your proper license in Monday.com, you get a complete screen like this. In a free trial, you get very, very minimal option to play around with this. Yeah. So this is about the different demos. I think I'm done. So in very brief, we talk what is AI, what is machine learning, and what is deep learning. Use cases where we can use it for AI assistant for writing, planning, and content creation. We talked about different assistants. So we talk about what we can use for voice assistant, we can use visual assistant, writing assistant, customer service bot, enterprise AI assistants. And these are some tools for writing, preferably ChatGPT is good. For planning, we can use Notion AI. For creative, we can use Canva. For marketing, you can use Jasper. And for customer support, you can use Intercom AI and chatbots. We learned about very brief about how to use ChatGPT and how we can use Grammarly for writing. And we also learned about different tools for routing and scheduling your workflow. Thank you. I'm done.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chaitanya. That was indeed a very
Thank you.
insightful session. And
Thank you.
I would like to tell you that certainly your experience, 20 plus years experience in the IT industries, and the 1,000 plus trainings that you have delivered across different AI tools to different attendees in the world, in the country, I would say. It was certainly a delightful experience to know about so much of AI tools available for us to simplify our daily tasks. So,
Yes.
now, to my attendees, I would like you to ask your questions directly to the expert. This is your chance. Drop your questions in the live chat, and I will be asking them to the expert one by one. So, sir, we have few questions in the chat box. Let me start answering. Let you answer them all. So, the first
Yeah,
question
sure.
is, what are some benefits of using AI in the decision-making process at work?
The first one is it improves the efficiency of work we're doing. Talking about efficiency and speed, these are more. And apart from that, it is more appropriate, accurate because humans make errors. Yeah. So these are the importance. We're talking about efficiency, speed, and accuracy. These are the advantages.
Okay, sir. Before we move ahead, I would request you to stop sharing your screen so that we can.
Okay.
All right. Okay, sir. Here's another question. How is AI used in HR or recruitment processes?
HR, it is used for screening people. So lots of candidates apply for jobs, and it becomes quite tedious for HR team to filter about who go the next level. So they can use in some options for filtering using search, in which they could get in the appropriate profiles for the appropriate jobs.
Okay. Another question is, in what ways can AI improve communication and collaboration among team members?
Okay. See, many team members these days work from different locations, so it's become quite difficult for them to work together. So we talked about tools like Revive, Reclaim, in which people who are from other locations also they can collaboratively work with Slack or Teams, in which they can collaborate and discuss online using online platform. Yeah. So examples are Microsoft Teams, or we can use Slack for communication and having the issues resolved.
Okay.
Thank you.
So there is a question generally people ask, that is my personal question to you. Will AI
Yes.
seriously replace the human word?
Not exactly. It is everyone they're afraid of. But what's happening is AI is a new technology, and someone needs to teach the machines of how it can use AI. So the new technology is coming in, which requires more people to teach or work on it. So it is reducing as of now, but it's going to improve in the future, wherein they need to have AI experts.
So, of course, we
Yeah.
are not going to lose our jobs. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, sir. There's another question. Can we generate Tableau reports using GPT automatically?
Yes, we can do that. So we have to integrate tools of Power BI. In Copilot, we have an option using which we can do that.
Okay. And another question is, how does Slack GPT differ from regular Slack features?
So Slack GPT has enterprise features wherein you can collaborate more compared to Slack here. So it has more features. I don't have exact answer of the features, but it has more features compared to a normal one.
Okay. Another question is, can you name three common AI tools or applications that can help with the productivity in the workplace?
The one is we're talking about using ChatGPT, which is custom based on Office. We're talking about using Copilot, yeah, and about these are tools we're talking about. Slack AI. So we can use Slack, then we can use ChatGPT, and we can use Copilot.
Okay, so we have another question. It says, what are some challenges or risks of relying too much on AI in the workplace? I think that's a very good question because
Yeah,
in today's world, we are even typing our emails with the help of ChatGPT.
yeah, I do understand. See, AI and these backends are like machines, so we cannot completely trust these. So there must be some human intervention must be there. So we are looking for ethics and compliance must be kept in mind. And apart from this, it is very critical, for example, financial or healthcare, if they're using AI, so there must be somewhere human intervention is required or humans need to review it. Yeah. So
Okay,
AI has to be used carefully along with some interception from humans. Thank you.
okay. We'll take another question, sir. Can AI help generate content ideas consistently over time?
Yeah, we can do that. That's the purpose of using ChatGPT, like it's using generative AI.
O-
Yes, that's
Okay.
yes.
Another question is, what is artificial intelligence and how is it being used in the modern workplace?
So as I talked about in a session, artificial intelligence is a new field wherein the systems can think like what humans has developed. So humans has programmed the machines and they can start thinking like humans. That is what is artificial intelligence. The next level is called machine learning, in which it can understand the patterns and based on that, it can work itself without human intervention. That's called machine learning.
Okay. So another question is, what's a smart way to use Notion AI for brainstorming?
See, Notion AI is used for things for scheduling. I don't remember exactly. I'll come back to it later. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. If there's another question. He says, how soon can I expect to see time-saving results if I start using AI tools now?
So you can see the results immediately. Example, I shown document in which in Grammarly, I want to review the mistakes or how I can improve the grammar. So if you've done the same, it would have taken at least 30 minutes. So you'll do within a few minutes. That's one example. So similarly, if you're a developer, if you want to write in a code and it's quite difficult to write in a code, which with all the syntax, AI gives you much easier methods to quickly write in the code. So it's going to save a lot of time and you can see the results immediately.
Okay, one more question, sir. How does
Yeah.
AI assist in automating repetitive tasks like scheduling data entry?
So repetitive task, so you have templates. So in AI, you can deal with your templates, and these templates would help you to do the work quickly, which you are doing your repetition work. Yeah.
Okay, all right, sir. There are few more questions left, but I guess I'll ask our attendees to drop them in the live chat, and sir will get back to you through YouTube. We have to take care of the session now. So here we come at the end of the session. I would like to thank Mr. Chaitanya for joining us
Okay.
today for this webinar and giving our attendees so much insightful knowledge and simplifying your daily work life. like what kind of difficulties we face daily when we associate in our workplace. Like we have to submit our PPT in 5 minutes, we have to give content in 10 minutes, and certainly AI has helped a lot in us. And of course, to have a practical knowledge about this is something very awarening for us in nowadays. So I want to thank you again. If you have anything to say, sir,
Thank
this
you.
is the time.
I'm good. Thank you. So thanks for the opportunity, Education Nest. It was a pleasure taking session for you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, and my attendees, I believe this is a very insightful webinar to you. And to have so much knowledge about AI and other practical tools, do follow Education Nest, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for all our upcoming webinars, and follow our social media channels on LinkedIn. So with this, I thank you all for joining me, and we'll meet again in the next webinar. Till then, take care of yourself.
Thank you.